A milkshake of liquidity has been created by all central banks, but Brent proposes the dollar will be the one to drink it all. The theory proposes that while the United States has huge monetary issues, from gigantic unfunded liabilities to massive yearly fiscal deficits to the threat of de-dollarization, that the US dollar is unlikely to die from weakness, but rather from out-of-control strength. To understand how the dollar milkshake theory can play out, let's zoom forward to the next hypothetical monetary crisis. At this point, the playbook for governments and central banks is well known. First, nearly every government around the world will print money. However, there is a difference between currencies, especially in times of crisis, and that is demand, because the US dollar is demanded more than any other currency. You see, when other governments print currency, it's used overwhelmingly inside their own borders. But when the US prints dollars, they're used all over the world. This demand is for many reasons, but three in particular. The first is, of course, the demand for dollars from the US economy itself. The second is the massive amounts of international loans made in dollars, which need to be repaid in dollars. The third is safe haven demand, from investors who want to hold their wealth in a relatively safe currency in asset markets that are large and extremely liquid, with a good return, and backed by a stable legal system. So what does this demand mean in practice? Well, in a true crisis, the US and everyone else will likely print money. But due to the dollar's unique demand, we might end up in an upward dollar death spiral. During a crisis, people will want to protect their currency, so they fly to the relative safety of US dollars and US dollar assets. This surge in demand improves their ROI versus other markets, attracting even more demand. This dollar demand makes international dollar loans harder to repay, increasing dollar demand even further. These forces act on each other, creating a self-reinforcing upward death spiral. Eventually, the dollar gets so strong that it cracks the current world monetary system. And that is the dollar milkshake theory.